Bombogenesis. Give me a break. Okay. Watch out. There's a bombogenesis coming. Yeah, I'm walking through my office. Eat the coffee. Talk about the FOMC. Waiting for my UPS driver. And I have bombogenesis. I don't want to get hit by that. Sheesh. All right, how's everybody doing? You're going skiing after this trade? All right, folks. Win or lose, I'm going skiing. Yeah. Jody, I have an ES setup for you if you want it. It's not incredible, but it's not horrible. I'll tell you how I would trade it. You could use the MES, you know. I don't use the setting on the DMM. We got to change it a little bit. I'll tell you how I would change it. I can show you the testing too. I did some testing on. Okay, let's start the room. We've got streaming going on. Everything's going on here. Everything's going on. All right, everybody, welcome. Who starts their trade rooms that way? Their live streams. Welcome. I don't remember. All right, well, welcome to the FOMC statement. My name is Lee Goldstein. I'm the trading director at 10-Minute Trades. Please remember that all the trades we discuss are for educational purposes. It is possible to lose money trading futures. So let's get started. Let's look at the DMM. Okay, so the ES, what my testing showed, just so you know, if anybody wants to trade the ES, there's an alternative setup on the DMM for the ES. But in these markets, I would use a bigger bracket, and that's how I tested it. And let me just show you the DMM, and I'll show you what I would do. And I would not wait around real long. If it doesn't fill within 10 seconds, cancel the trade, okay? If it doesn't fill, cancel the trade. That's what I saw. So it says down here, the ES is a lower risk alternative that should move in tandem with the NQ. Bracket 8, targets 12 and 25. So I tested with a bracket of 13. Sorry, yes, I tested with a bracket of 13. I think you're okay with a 12. Targets, I would go 10 and 23 with a stop of 12, okay? Now, if you want, you can trade just one contract, right? And go somewhere in the middle, like a 15-tick target. That's not a bad trade. It's not terrible. 15, 17-tick targets, 4 points. It's not the end of the world. But I would use a bracket of at least 10 to 12. I think 12 is my magic number on the bracket. And if it doesn't fill, I would cancel quick. Let me show you why. On my testing, I'll show you a couple of the trades. Okay, so here was December, tested with the MQ. With the ES, I'm sorry. The ES was very good. Everything was good in December. December had a great move. It had a great move. Everything moved. So let's go to a more challenging month. November, I think, was tougher on the ES. And it triggered late. See, it's already 10 seconds after the report, and it was a stop out. So I would cancel if it doesn't trigger in 10 seconds, okay? Even 9. Then I tested it in September on the ES. And in September, it has a good move. And I did it again because my brackets were like gigantic. And the entry time that I used was, let me check. 59. So I used a bracket of 12, I would use targets of 10 and 25 with a stop of 10 to 12. That would be my stop. Here's July. And July did not work. It shoots down and then goes right back up. It did not work. So it had about 3 out of 5 worked. But 1 should have been a cancel. 3 out of 5 worked. 1 was a cancel. Now, let me talk about the NQ. So I did a whole bunch of testing on the NQ. I tested the one-click range trade, which is a very reasonable way to try to trade this report. But the problem that you're faced with, if you trade it somewhat similar to the way we trade earnings, and I like that, Jody. I would go a little smaller on the first target. So if you get hit, you have the opportunity to get out. If it reverses, you could hit the break even button if you have to. It's just, I'm not greedy on that first target. Not that 13 is greedy, just that if it does, I think today I think it's going to be a good move. It could be a whip. That's the worry today because there's so much attention. It could be tough today. So just everybody realize there is risk, but I would still trade it. The NQ, so what I was saying, I did a lot of testing with the one-click range trade at the moment of the report, and I got filled early so many times. It's so darn volatile. I got filled early so many times that I just don't think I don't think I can trade it that way. I couldn't keep my orders safe away from the market. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to trade the NQ as a normal breakout, and I'm going to set up a one-click range trade in case I want to take a secondary trade, but that's not going to be my main trade. And I'm going to set it up with a look back of 3 bars and ticks above and below the range of 15 big above. Let me think for a second. Do I want to trade it? Let me just think for a second. No, I want to trade it as if I'm getting right in. So my ticks above and below are only going to be 3 because the move is overall. The big move is going to have already taken place. So if I feel like I can see a trend, then I'll have 3 ticks for it to pull me into the trend. I'm going to look back 3 bars, and I'm going to use a target of 10 and 30 ticks. And my stop is going to be 25 ticks. So it's pretty risky trades. I would only consider doing it if I'm certain, because I'm not the greatest discretionary trader. I mean, it's not my strong suit. It's why I always enjoy trading this way. So I'm setting up a secondary one-click range trade. And let me just think for a second. I may want to do it slightly differently, and I'll tell you why. I want to keep things simple today. I want to keep things simple because I think it's going to move very, very crazily. No matter what, it's going to move crazy. So what happens to me is when I play those secondary moves, when it moves crazy, I tend to get the direction wrong. I'll go in too late, or I'll go. I mean, generally, that's what happens to me. I'll go in too late, and that's why I love trading at the time of the news. That's my favorite way of trading. But I've been doing a lot more trap trades, a lot more one-click range testing. Definitely looking for a lot more different types of setups for us. What I'm thinking on this report is sort of like with oil, where if I get in, if I'm going to get in, I'm pretty sure I'm going to know I want to get in. So I'm going to set it up as a reversal like I did with oil. So it's just going to be a quick trade. I'll do one contract with a big target. That's the way that I want to deal with it. So I'll do like a 40 tick target, a 30 tick stop, so that if I get in on a secondary trade, it's just going to be an opposite direction or a continuation. And that's what's nice about the reversal trade as the secondary trade. You'll have buttons on the screen. They're just long and short. You don't have to do any thinking because this can be fast. So I want to do it in a way that I don't have to do a lot of thinking. Not that I'm stupid, but I don't want to overthink any entries, okay? So I'm doing a simple one position for 40 tick target, a stop of 30, and it's a reversal, but it's called a reversal, but the way the reversal trade works is you don't have to do it as a reversal. Of course, you can do it as a continuation trend. It's just the setup that is a reversal. So the definition of a reversal setup, just so everybody understands, the definition is that you have your buttons and you enter long or short immediately, and you have your stops. So it's just a safe continuation. If the market's going up and you click long, you've got a continuation trade. If the market's going up and you click short, you've got your reversal. But the key is it sets up targets and a stop, so you don't have to think about being safe. Our main trade, and I did a lot of testing on the main trade. So what I was saying before, let me record. I'm tempted. I think a 20 tick bracket should be enough to keep us safe. Okay. A 20 tick bracket should be good. I'm tempted. There's a part of me that says do 25 and shrink your first target to 15. That's one reasonable way that you can do that, right? You shrink that first target, then you're making up for the bigger bracket by giving up 5 ticks of profit. Do I think it's going to be that crazy today? When you think about Canada, Canada was not so crazy. It just didn't work. It just went both directions. So that's what the deal was with Canada. It wasn't that it was such a big move, which sort of surprised me. I thought it was going to be a bigger move. So I'm putting a second strategy on, which is our main breakout trade. 20 tick bracket at the moment. I'm going to use 3 targets. On my first target, I'm still going to use a 15 tick first target. I don't like to trade with 20 tick first targets because for me, it always feels like it's too big. If you get, you have a 20 tick bracket and a 15 tick target, that's 35 ticks. That's a big move already. And then my second target, I'm going to use 35 ticks, and my third target, I'm going to use 60. So I'm expecting a big move today. And so I'm trading 3 contracts, and I'm going to risk 35 ticks on each. I think a 20 tick stop is small. So I'm risking 150, 500, 600, 700 easily on this trade, easily $700. Now, if we get a nice move in one direction, it'll be awesome. If we don't, we'll be crying in our corner. I'll be crying in the corner. And my entry time is 13:59. $13.59.59. We'll definitely check our sync. It's a breakout trade. And I'm going to label it, of course. NQ breakout. And that's how I'm trading it. So I'm just thinking if I want to reduce my risk by trading 2 contracts, I'm going to leave my trade the way it is. So I've got 3 positions, 15, 35, and 60. Stop is 35. And my entry time is 1:59:59 Eastern Time. 13:59:59 is the proper way to put it in if you're Eastern Time. And my bracket at the moment is 20. And I'm actually going to put my time at 0 because the market's been moving. I want to see my brackets and put my charts on sim for a second. I'll tell you, FedEx, perfect bracket size. So FedEx is something else. I ordered something and they delivered it to my neighbor. And I just happened to see the guy on the street delivering the box to my neighbor. I mean, give me a break. So let me fix the time on my breakout. So it's 13:59:59. That's 1:59:59. So is everybody clear? So I've got a secondary reversal set up, okay? Now I could do the reversal on the MNQ if I wanted to, right? It's lower risk. What's a street strider? Is that a running machine, Jody? All right, so, I don't always take secondary discretionary trades, but I always try to point them out. So everybody's clear on what I think is the ES. I like the bracket of 12 in this market. I like a quick cancel if the trade doesn't fill 10 seconds. Sometimes you might miss a trade because of that, but the couple of testings that I did, it kept me safe. It did keep me safe. Okay. We're going to check our time sync. Oh, an elliptical on wheels. Let's check our time sync by going to the website, time.is. Okay, so you'll notice today, I do not have any news open. I'm listening to the news on Financial Juice. And before I forget, I do want to welcome everybody on YouTube. Thank you for coming. It's not too late to join us for earnings this evening. Okay. So I'm just typing that in for everybody. We'll be in the trade room at 3:30. We're going to be waiting for Intel and Tesla. And then everybody that's here, don't forget that our trade room is in GoToWebinar, okay? For the earnings trade. We're in the GoToWebinar room. And I will do an emergency email check between this trade and the next trade room to make sure if anybody's didn't get our 8,000 emails that we sent, okay? I think we sent about 37,000 emails over the past week. David, it's not in the members area. There is no link in the members area today because I didn't set up the room this time, so I didn't have the link until the last minute. But if you send an email, I'll make sure that you get it. I can't post it in the room because, or can I? Let me think. Can I just post it in the darn room? Yeah, anybody that's in here is theoretically a trade room member, although probably let me make it easy for our members today. So earnings was fun yesterday. We had a good trade. Eric had a good trade. I had a good trade. There's no question. Oh, Jody, right. But you know what, Jody? Tomorrow is Apple. Today is tricky because there's two companies and the timing is going to be different. David, there's the link for you. Jody, Apple's interesting tomorrow. If you can make tomorrow, Apple has interesting possibilities. So the ES, I'm just watching. Okay, I'm not trading it. I'm not using any extra resources on anything today. So when you say you're working, what does that mean? Doing what? Just curious. You don't have to tell me. All right. So we're waiting. We've got about 8 minutes. I'm listening to Financial Juice in my headset. That sounds like fun. can't imagine being at the beach this time of year. I mean, we're getting ready for a bombogenesis, mysterioso storm of some sort. A bombogenesis, yeah, that's what they call it. So now, let's say that the NQ becomes too volatile to take a breakout trade. I can cancel NQ breakout, but then I can still take a trade, continuation or a reversal, in theory. If I felt that I had an opportunity and I could see it, I saw it well, and I saw the opportunity, then I have that possibility to take. Okay. And I want to thank everybody for watching us on YouTube. If you'd be kind enough, why not give us a like? Sign up for our YouTube channel. Hit the bell so you know when our next setup is going to be. SF, do you mean the breakout? Do you mean the breakout? So the breakout setting is a bracket of 20. Bracket of 20, and then oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So look at this, look at this. It's a bracket of 20. The DMM says targets of 20 and 40. Okay, and the entry time is 13:59:59. 13:59:59. So I would like to see a calming down of the NQ. That I'd like to see. These markets, folks, I mean, sometimes you have to step aside. Sometimes you have to step aside. So normally, so what I'm thinking is maybe reduce a contract. That's a large move. So everyone's forecasting no move. I think the Fed's going to raise rates. I think they're going to raise rates. That's what I think. So if they raise rates, that'll scare the market and send it down. What do you think? If they raise rates, will it send the market down because it'll scare the market because everybody's thinking they're not raising rates, right? Well, I mean, they say they're eventually going to raise rates no matter what, but everybody's been saying they're going to do it in March. So I'm thinking they raise them today. They get a head start because they've been, everyone thinks they're behind the 8 ball to begin with. So they raise the rates today. Scares the bejeebies out of the market. And you get a down move. Now, I'm not going to trade on that. That's just a thought. Means nothing. Means absolutely nothing. And how I would trade it. Right, Rob. So, Rob, read the comment above you, Rob. So that's what's so funny about trading. If they raise today, the market will go up because they're taking action. And then the other next trader says, I think they're going to raise and we should have a big down move. That's why the markets are so crazy, right? That's why trading is so crazy. It is funny. There's, it's like nobody's right, nobody's wrong until after. right? Then you can analyze it to death and figure out what it's going to be. So on my breakout, I'm going to go with a 25 tick bracket. I already shrunk my first target by those 5 ticks. And it does make it harder, a little bit harder to make money. But I think if there's going to be a move that works with our bracket, I think it's going to be a big move. I don't think 5 ticks is going to be, I don't think 5 ticks today are going to be the difference between a win or a loss. 14,500. So here's the problem. The market's moving in huge chunks, right? The market's moving in huge chunks. I reserve the right to cancel this trade at the last second, okay? Because it may just not be safe to trade. That's the problem. You know, it's moving 3, 4 points at a time. I don't think we can survive the bracket. That's my worry, whether we can survive the bracket. You can always trade sim, absolutely. Nobody says you have to trade live. But this is what we do, right? It's what we do. It doesn't mean I'm going to win. Oh, you know what I did? I'm on sim, you guys. I blew the trade. It was an easy winning trade. I forgot to put my chart on live. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. When I was testing my darn brackets, I didn't put my trade back on live. So look, I missed the trade. Okay, I missed the trade. My sim trade was a winner. My sim trade was a winner. Easy winner. Easy winner. I made a mistake. It's going to happen. I'm not taking a reversal now. When I make a mistake, it would only be a revenge trade. It would only be a revenge trade. So what did I do? Let's at least learn from my mistake. A $300 trade thrown away. Now the ES looked like a nice trade. I hope you made money, Jody. Hope you made money. So look, I made a mistake, folks. I'm not going to cry, go cry in the room. I made a mistake. I'll do it again. It'll happen again. I left my account by accident on sim. That's what happened. I left the account on sim. My mistake. It's frustrating. I hate it. Now, we can watch the market. Am I going to take a secondary trade? Not after I've made a mistake, because like I said, psychologically, I'm not in the right psychology to take another trade now, because I goofed. TJ, send me a picture. Would you send me your graphic, TJ? Because that should have been my trade. It should have been my trade. The only thing I'm happy about is my setup worked. My setups worked for everybody. So everybody in the room, if you made money, give me a roll call. Give me a roll call. You should have made money. You should have made money. So did anybody give me a roll call? Tell me how you did. Tell me how you did on the trade, please. So the market loves this. The market just loves everything today. That's obvious. I'm not going to chase. Okay. I'm not going to chase. I'm not, honestly, my psychology is not the kind of psychology for chasing. I don't want to trade that way. SF, very nice. David, that sounds like some sort of a ninja issue. Very nice, Jody. Very nice. That was an easy trade. And a lot of times this is what they do. They try to scare you. And that's why I didn't get out of my trade, but I didn't notice that my charts were on sim by accident. I knew the second my orders didn't show up, but it was too late. There was no way I could possibly change it. No possible way. I suppose I could have jumped in long, right? I could have jumped in long on my continuation trade, but I wasn't really thinking. I was taken aback, and it's frustrating. But now I have to get ready for earnings. I can't. I'm not going to cry that I made a mistake. It will not be the last mistake I ever make. It's just part of this game. The 8 bracket's too small, Jody. So happy that I told you to use that bigger bracket. I'm so glad. So glad. That 8 bracket is way too small. And I knew that on the testing immediately. Immediately. So who else made money? Come on. TJ made some money. Jody made some money. SF made money on his sim account. David, reboot your platform and reconnect your data feed. Reconnect your platform. Everyone on YouTube, thank you for joining with us. Don't forget, you can join our earnings class later. www.tradeearningsnow.com. It's only $47 to get our class and come to a couple of earnings trade rooms. Okay. And everybody else, I'll see everybody at 3:30. I'll see everybody at 3:30 in the room. A very, very nice move on the FOMC. I feel like a dunce for making a mistake, but I made a mistake. There's my sim trade, right? I'm still in because I had huge targets. I'm still in. So I can close my sim trade for a small profit. But it's a shame, but that's what happened. I made a mistake. And it is what it is. All right, folks. I'll see everybody at 3:30 for Intel and Tesla. Intel and Tesla. So I'm going to set my charts up now. So I have a workspace, earnings, 2 charts. So I'm going to close my other workspace. I'm going to close my other chart. So I've got Intel and Tesla. And I'm not connected to my other broker at the moment, so I'm just setting up the stock charts. Now, I think Intel will be first. Tesla, I think, will be second. I think Intel will come out with their earnings first. That's what I think. But I'm going to check my records and we'll see what time everything is. So the one thing I have to do is make sure on the data series that it's default 24/7 on trading hours, so that when I connect to my broker, that I will be able to get after market hours pricing, default 24/7. So that's what that allows me to do. Oh, AJ, I was just worried about it, but I thought they were trying to scare us out of it too. I get it, AJ. I'm sorry I said that. But AJ, if I don't cancel, don't cancel, you know? If I don't cancel, don't cancel. Just trade one contract. If you're really that worried, just trade one contract. So a good move up, a good move up. And it's a shame. It's a shame. Nothing I can do. This will bug me all day. This one will bug me all day because it's so dumb to make a mistake like that. All right, folks. In the old days, oh man, trader members would never let me get away with that. Someone would have told me, you guys got to check me. You got to check me. Help me out. Help me out. All right. I want to thank everybody on YouTube. Don't forget, you can join us for the earnings, www.tradeearningsnow.com. We'll be in the earnings room at 3:30. So I'll see everybody later. AJ, if you can't concentrate, don't trade. You did the right thing. Don't sweat it. Hey, don't sweat it. You know what? I'll make mistakes. We all goof. We all screw up. It is part of it. It's part of it. I want to set my indicators so that the net change display price is on the right. Net change display. Come on. Not the bottom left, but the bottom right. Okay. All right, folks. I'll see everybody at 3:30 in the GoTo webinar room. So I'll see you all in a little bit. Take care.